Okay, it's recording now. Sorry, Chloe, what was that?
Was one of them sub-medians after dominant?
Yeah, that is true.
And then the leading tone is after.
Brilliant,
then,
yeah. So the leading tone obviously leads back to the tonic, doesn't it, or the octave? Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's both, isn't it? So it's just in, blimey, that's gone a bit big, hasn't it? So it's just in case on your, I mean, you should know this anyway, but on your exam, it might say something like, what is the tonic chord? And you guys will know that that's chord number 1, because 1 is the tonic, isn't it? So it's a really good idea to memorize these. I think of them in sort of a couple of groups, really. If you think of the tonic and the supertonic kind of go together, don't they? And then the subdominant and the dominant kind of go together, 4 and 5. Mediant is the middly one, so that's easy. And then the submediant comes before the leading tone. So yeah, it's useful. I did put that up on the classroom as well. So if you can memorize that, it's really useful, because what I don't want to happen is you get into the exam and it'll say, right, what's the chord built on the supertonic? And you go, oh, and it's just that simple. It just means chord number 2, but you just have to remember them, okay? So that's that, that's good. Okay, and then we asked for some key signatures, didn't we? I asked you to put in some key signatures last week, which was this. So we've been working on the tenor clef and a little bit of the alto clef, but mostly the tenor clef because it's on the exam. So where does middle C go then on the tenor clef? Somebody tell me.
The middle, oh no. The one above the middle line?
Yeah, so it's the second to top line, the second line down. Sorry, I'm still fighting with the cat. Will you stop? Second line down, and it's the one that the clef runs right through the middle of, isn't it? Can you see my cursor there? So it's this one here, middle C. So what it's asking you for is to write in the key signature and the tonic chord, so chord number 1. So you can see in the example there, it's giving you E major, which has got 4 sharps, and then it started on an E. The key signature's already in, so you don't have to worry about that. And then you just simply build them up in thirds on the tonic. Okay, does that make sense? Why, in this case, does our key signature start down here? Because usually it's on the top F possible, the highest F possible. So why is it starting down here on tenor clef?
Is it because of the change of notes to positions?
It is, because if we went for the top F, we would be very quickly off the stave, and then the G comes up even higher than that. So before you know it, we're not on the stave anymore. So what we need to do is start on the lowest possible F on the stave, on the tenor clef. And we figured out, didn't we, that what do the lines on the treble clef spell out? There was some words. What were they? Can you remember? Chloe?
Was it the one that Jack made up?
Yeah, so that was in the spaces, wasn't it? So we had an E, G, B, D. So we said eat grapes after dinner in the spaces.
Every good boys deserve.
Yeah, but there's no football. He's not getting any football. Just that's the spaces, isn't it? And then on the lines, it simply spells out D, face. So it's the letter D, and then it's face. So yeah, that's a quick way of kind of working it out. Now, what we need to look at this week is the minor keys, don't we? Which are a little bit more tricky. I think we all know our major key signatures, and I think I've come up with a way of simplifying this, hopefully, so that you know how to figure out your major and minor keys. So we'll just unshare that. And then what I need is, has anyone got a keyboard at home?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this will be really good for you guys. All right, I just need to find an image. Aha, perfect. Okay, so I'll just share this with you.
Learn 36 popular songs in
Sorry, that's taken me to YouTube somehow.
The white keys.
I don't,
2.
I don't want YouTube, I just want a keyboard layout. Right, okay. There we go. One sec. You guys see that keyboard?
Yeah.
Great, okay. So what I kind of figured out was that it's just a case of moving up and down the piano keyboard 3 semitones. So what we do is, if we're in a major key and we're looking for the relative minor, we go down 3 semitones. If we're in a minor key and we're looking for the relative major, we go up 3 semitones. Now bear with me, it's a little bit confusing, but hopefully it will make sense. So can you see the C here? That's in blue. This sort of C above middle C, the C. Can you see my cursor when I'm hovering over things? Yeah, good. So this C, right, so what we want to do there is we want to find out C's relative minor. So count back 3 semitones and we go 1, 2, 3. So you include all the black and white notes and it's A minor. Okay, so that works with anyone. If we want to find out G's relative minor, for example, we're on G, move back 3 semitones, 1, 2, 3, and it's E. And it works in the reverse as well. So if we're in a minor key, say we're in D minor, and we want to find the major key, we move up 3 semitones. So there's D, 1, 2, 3, and the major is F. Okay, does that make sense? Kind of? Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to ask you all a question now then, just to make life a little bit more interesting. Now, okay, Chloe then, so this time, if we're in major and we want minor, we're going to count down. So if you want to find out minor, minor down, major up, okay? So Chloe, can you please tell me what is the relative minor to A major?
Is it G?
No, so we go 3 semitones from there, so we don't count that one. So we go 1, 2.
Or is it F sharp?
Yeah, so it's F sharp minor. Good, okay. Let's try another one, Chloe, make sure you've got the hang of it. Okay, what is the relative minor to E? So again, count down.
C?
Check again, 3 semitones.
C sharp.
C sharp, yeah. So you must include the sharps and the flats, okay? Okay, Shemak, please. What is the relative minor to F sharp? So we've got F sharp major. We want to find out the relative minor. We go back 3 semitones.
So E flat or E sharp? E flat?
So it's D sharp, isn't it? Because we're in a
D
sharp
sharp,
key. But you're right, you got the right note, you just called it the wrong thing. So if we're in F sharp, hello Adam, I know you can't say hello, but welcome. Okay, so we're on F sharp, we need to go back 3 semitones, 1, 2, 3, and it tells us that the relative minor is D sharp. Okay, so working the other way then, Johnny, I've got a minor key this time, and I want to find out what the relative major is. So this time I'm going to count up, okay? So what is the relative major, please, to G sharp minor?
B.
Yeah, well done. So you're on G sharp, you want to, this is minor now, and you want to find, so if you remember, to find the major you count up, to find the minor you count down, which kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because we think of minor as sort of a down key, you know. Okay, so that's great. So I asked for G sharp minor, we're finding the major, so we go 1, 2, 3, and it's B. Brilliant. Okay, another one then, Johnny. What is the relative minor to F, please? So this time we're counting down because we want to find the minor.
E, D sharp, is that one? No, sorry, that's D.
It's D, well done, yeah. So what you don't do is go 1, 2, 3. The root note doesn't count, which is kind of throwing out the window everything we've learned, isn't it, about scales, because you always count the 1. but this time you go 1, 2, 3. So that's brilliant, Johnny, you've got that. Okay, Shemak, please, can you find me the relative minor to A flat? So we want to go down because it's minor, we're going down. So 1, 2, 3, fantastic, yeah, well done. And this time I'd like the relative major, please, to C sharp. So major is up.
D sharp.
So 3 from C sharp, 1, 2, 3.
It's E.
Okay, yeah, okay, Matty, please. Can you please find me the relative major? So this time we're counting up to from B flat.
C sharp.
So it's not
D
sharp.
flat. Oh no, D flat.
Yeah, so you got the right key, but because we're in a flat key, you've got to call it flat. Okay, and can you please find me the relative minor to B major? So this time we're counting down.
A flat.
So we're in B, aren't we, which is a sharp key. B's got sharps.
Oh, so B. G sharp.
Yes, well done. Okay, so we've got the, does that make things a little bit easier when working out relative minors and things? Is that all right? So what that brings us to now is the next exercise on. So let me just unshare this. Actually, it's the same exercise, isn't it? I don't know what I'm talking about. So it's asking for some minor keys there, isn't it? Minor key signatures. So what we need to do to find the relative major and figure out what the key signature is we count up, don't we? And then it'll be the same. They share the key signature, if that makes sense. So let's try a major one then. If we're in A flat major, oh no, we've done the major. Let's try a minor one. So if we're in minor, we're in B flat minor, which is this one, and we want to find the relative major from B flat. So we've got to count up 3 on the keyboard. So what would that be then? So we'd have B flat B, C,
D.
what comes
D flat.
D flat, well done. So we'd have, we're on B flat, then we'd have B, then we'd have C, then we'd have D flat. So this key signature here is going to be the same as D flat major then. Yeah? So how many flats will we have in there? Yeah, Johnny's given me a good answer there. How many flats? How many flats will we have in B flat minor?
5.
Or D, well done, Chloe, 5, yeah, good. So we'd put our 5 flats in there. It's a tricky one, that, because obviously we're dealing with sharps and flats. Okay, let's try another one then. So this time, we're in G sharp minor. We want to find the major, so we're going to count up. Okay, so we'd have G sharp, and then we'd have A, and we'd have A sharp, then we'd have, what would be next?
B.
B. So it's the same as B major. How many sharps has B major got in it? We've all gone blank. Yeah, let me just annotate this and then we shall, okay. Let's get some text on the go. Okay, so if we use our Father Christmas sketch drunk after 8 years, cover up the one before B and everything is left as sharp. So how many sharps has it got?
5.
5, well done, Chloe, yeah. When you do go into the exam, the first thing I would do is write that in the top corner of your paper, Father Christmas sketch drunk. You won't lose points for figuring it out, you know, or ask for a scrap piece of paper. You probably get one anyway. But the thing to do is memorise them, isn't it? But if you can't, then do that. Okay, so the next one's C sharp minor. We want to figure out what the relative major is. So we'd have C sharp. Go on, you figure it out. What would be the next one after C sharp?
D.
D. Then we'd have
D flat.
D
D sharp.
sharp, because we're in sharp, yeah. And then we would have
E.
E. So the relative major is E. How many sharps or flats has E got?
4.
4.
It's got 4 sharps, so therefore you will put them in. Yeah, make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the next one is F minor then. So we want to find the relative major again. We're going to count up because we're looking for major. So we're going to go up 3 semitones. So we'd have F, F sharp. What would be the next one?
G.
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 And the
G
next
sharp.
one would be, well, actually, we're in a flat key, aren't we? We're in F, so let's forget about the sharps. Let's do that again. So we'd have F,
G.
flat,
F flat. Then
F,
G.
G flat, wouldn't we, or F sharp?
So we're going down.
No, yeah, I'll show you, and I'll bring the keyboard up again. Okay, so we've got F, and then we'd have G flat, or F sharp, wouldn't we? We call it flat because we're in F. So we're not going down, we're moving up, but it's still a G flat. Then we'd have G, and then we'd have A flat, okay? So we're looking for the same key signature as A flat, which is how many flats? My little annotation has disappeared.
4.
How many?
Is it 4?
4, well done, good, yeah. So you put your 4 flats in, starting where would your flats start on this?
Is it the line or the space above the middle line?
That would be a D, wouldn't it? Oh yeah, sorry, I thought you meant the C line, yeah. So it would be the third space
Yeah.
up, wouldn't it? Yeah, well done, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you would put your key signature in. Has anyone got any questions about this? Is that an easier way to figure out your minor keys? And the thing is as well, even when you get into the exam, you can put your Father Christmas sketch drunk. Another thing to do is just draw out a little keyboard, C to C, on a scrap piece of paper. It'll save you loads of time going F, G flat. Do you know what I mean? So if you've just got them and you can go ba, 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 ba. Also remember that if we're in F, obviously we're talking about flats, aren't we? Because it's a flat key, it's got a flat in there. If we're in A flat major, we're talking about flats. If we're in sharp minor, we're talking about sharp. So you must remember those as well. Okay, so that brings us to the next thing. It's a lot to remember, isn't there? Which is, let me see. Okay, so what we're talking about now is transposition, which, has anyone heard that term before? I don't think we've covered it yet at all. Let me just... So I think I've just shared everything with you, which is a bit daft, right? So, transposition. Go on, you tell me what it is. Does anyone know what it is?
That way you go from one key to another.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, fabulous. So what we're doing is sometimes you get, oh, well, let me show this. Okay. So what we're doing, oh, that's a bit, is that blurred on yours?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, okay, let me open it again. Seems to have gone in now. That's still blurred? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just have one for that. Sorry about this, folks. You know, it's not my my forte, this thing. Yeah, it's really blurred, that, isn't it? Let me try this one, hang on. Right, so transposition is basically when we are changing from one key to another, or we're changing from one clef to another. It's gone really blurred again, hasn't it? That's annoying. Okay, I don't know why that is. Oh yeah, that's not too bad. Can you guys see that?
It's very bad.
Very bad on your screen, okay. No idea why. Okay, let me just find an example online. I did take some photographs, but okay. Trying to find an image. Okay, what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to pause for 2 minutes because it's important this. We just need to, I need to take another couple of photos and email them to myself, okay? And see if we can get it up that way. So I'm going to pause recording for a minute. If you want to go to the loo or get a cup of tea or whatever, do that and we'll come back in 5 minutes and hopefully I'll have them okay. Stop recording.
Okie doke.
Okie doke. Start recording again. Okay, so when we talk about transposition, what we're talking about is either transposing something into a different clef, transposing something into a different key. Why would I want to transpose something into a different clef? So if I've got something written in tenor clef, why on earth would I want to put it in tenor clef or alto clef or bass clef? Why would I do that?
For different instruments?
Exactly, yeah. So if I wanted to play as an ensemble, many instruments, say there was a viola player there or, you know, cello, bassoon, they want their part, but you want them to play the same thing. You have to transpose it, don't you, into a different clef and sometimes into a different key. But on the exam, what it's asking you to do, I should hopefully be able to share this with you now. Okay, hopefully you see that, which is just the next exercise under the one we've done. Okay, let me make that slightly bigger. Okay, so what it's asking you to do is rewrite each of these passages at the same pitch using either the treble or bass clef as shown. Remember to include the key signature, time signature, and performance directions. Okay, so basically what it's doing, what key are we in to begin with? Which key's got one flat?
F.
F, well done. So we're in F. So we need to put the key signature in, which is a B flat. The new clef they've given us is a bass clef, isn't it? So they've put in the B flat in the right place because we're in F. So same key signature, but obviously in a different place on the stave because it's a different clef. If you notice what they've done is they've copied the performance directions. So presto, meaning fast, is in there. Yeah, at the top. Moderately loud, cantabile is in there. So any performance directions must be copied. And what it's asking you to do is put it in at the same pitch. Okay, so what's the first note that it starts on this melody? Oh, also, yeah, it's also got the time signature in as well. So what's the time signature here, guys? We did discuss this.
4/4.
Not 4/4 because it's got a line through it, hasn't it?
Half common time.
Oh, yeah.
So what is that?
Like 2/4.
2/4. So it's cut common time, so it's 2/4, which is fine. Right, so what they're asking you to do then is they are asking you to put it at exactly the same pitch, but just in a different clef. So what's the first note that we have on this tenor clef at the top? What's the very first note there?
F.
F.
It's an F, yeah. It's the F above middle C, yeah, because middle C is this line, isn't it, on tenor clef? So it's the F above middle C. Now, where does tenor clef sit on the, where does middle C sit on the bass clef?
Above it.
above it on the line. So again, they followed suit and we're going for the F above middle C, because middle C would be here, wouldn't it, on this line. So we've got C, D, E, F, and then everything else basically follows suit. Yeah, so if we go across, that's the same note. Yeah, put the tie in and the slur, that's the same note. This next note is a line or a space below. Same here, and it follows suit. So we can do this next bar quite easily by following the pattern, can't we? We can see that's the same note, one below, one above, two below, and that's really easy. The next one I would advise that you check it again. So what's this note here on the tenor clef?
C.
Which?
C.
C, it's middle C, isn't it? And as we can see here, this is also middle C because it sits above the stave on the bass clef, and so on and so forth. Okay, what's this note here?
F.
It's an F, isn't it? Because it spells deface. So we just need to check that that's an F. Yeah, that's an F, isn't it? G, B, D, F. Yeah, A, so that's an F, and so on. And you basically just follow the pattern then, just check a couple of the bars. So what's this note here? Sorry, what's this note here on the tenor clef?
A.
It's an A because it spells out deface. Is this an A on the bass clef? Yeah, and it's not the A down there because it's the one around middle C, which is all at the top. So we need to make sure of that we don't get the wrong C. And then finally, check the last one. Okay, so what's this note here?
It's F.
It's an F. And is this an F on the bass clef? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so that's the example it's giving you. Now, if you have a look, all the performance directions are in there. So it does say that in the questions as well. Remember to include the key signature, the time signature, and any performance directions. So that's things like this accent on the top of this note. Accents here, as you can see, they've all been put in there, haven't they? You will lose marks if you miss any of those out. Go on, sorry.
What are the accents? What do they do?
It just means that you accent the note, that you play the note a bit stronger. Okay,
Oh.
So this is an actual piece of music. It's an overture called Glinka. I don't know how you pronounce it, but there's the title. So you could actually probably go and have a listen to that, and it will show you that these notes are played a little bit stronger than the others. They're accented, okay. But they must go in everywhere. There's a performance direction on this example. Presto, moderately loud. It's all in there, isn't it, on the next example? So you must make sure you copy all those over. Yeah. So they will be at exactly the same pitch. If you were to give that to a bassoon player and a bass player, they will play exactly the same notes, even though they live in a different place on the stave, don't they, because of the clef. So you have to be really careful there. Right, okay, let's look at the questions then. So what it's given you, right. So this time, I mean, the good thing is you don't really have to think about key signatures and things, figuring them out, because they're in there, aren't they? You just need to figure out where to put them on the new stave. So this time it's given you tenor clef, and it's asking you to put it into treble clef. Yeah. So what's the first note? Well, first of all, what key are we in?
A major, is it?
We're in A major. What's the other possibility? What minor key would it be? Go back 3 semitones. Let me share. Oh my God, this is going to change my life. Hang on, I've just figured out something.
Would it be E flat, maybe?
Well, we're in a sharp key, aren't we? Because we're in A.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be E flat, would it, if we're in a sharp key? Let me just have a look at this. Do we have a piano? keyboard before.
So it's F sharp.
Yeah, so we could be either in A, or if we go back 3, we're in F sharp minor, and it could be either. The way to tell is by this, hang on. So the way to tell is to, can you guys see that now? Prestissimo at the top, can you see that? Yeah, good, okay. So the way to tell is to figure out where, I've lost some of you, hang on. I've lost some of you. Okay, never mind. The way to tell is where does the piece of music resolve to? Where's the tonality? Where does it come back to? Where does it start? Is it all around A major, or is it all around F sharp? Okay, so what's the last note here? What's this note on the tenor clef?
A.
Yeah, so we're in A major, it resolves back to A major, doesn't it? The only difference between the major and the minor key is where the tonality is, where it resolves back to. Okay, so we're in A major. What you would have to do here is firstly put the key signature in. Does somebody want to help me out there? So we need 3 sharps, but this time we're going from tenor clefs to treble clef. So where do we start?
So first line, yeah, first sharp, first line.
Yeah, to the top line. Yeah, well done. We put that in there. Can somebody put it in for me?
The next one on the B note.
Not B. Yeah, well done. So we'd have the top line, and then we'd have, remember Father Christmas Gets Drunk?
Yes.
So the next one would be
C.
C, well done. So we'd have this C here. Who is blue? Well done, blue. Is that you, Johnny?
Yeah, it's hard to do this.
Yeah, I can see you frantically concentrating.
Yeah, it's
there.
very hard. I don't try it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's not worry about that, because it's quite difficult digitally, isn't it? Let's make this bigger. So we'd have our key signature in there. We'd have our 3 sharps, and then we would, let me see if I can draw. So we'd have our key signature in, and the next thing, what would be the next thing to go in? What would be the next thing to go in?
Time signature.
Time signature, well done, Chloe. So we'd put, this is far too big. Let me see if I can make that a bit smaller. So we'd put our time signature in, 3, 4, well done. This is really annoying, it's coming right on the, right, okay. So we'd have our 3, 4, and then any markings, so we'd have prestissimo, which is very fast, we put that on the top, and then we'd have cantable, which is kind of walking, we put that on the bottom. Okay, and then what we're looking for is where that first note goes. So what's that first note? What is it?
F.
What is it?
Is it an F?
I think because on the lines it's deface, isn't it? On tenor clef.
E.
It's an E, yeah. Now, okay, in relation to middle C, it's the next E up from middle C, isn't it? So where on earth does that go on the treble clef?
Is it the first line?
Yes, well done, Chloe. You've got that, yeah, brilliant. Okay. So I'm going to put it there. This is really weird, isn't it, to try and do this? Okay, and then I'm going to put my bar lines in. And then where does the next note go then?
The same.
The same?
On the first line.
Yeah, good. And then obviously we make sure we've got, and then these just go up, don't they? On the next one, we've got 1, 2, 3. So we go 1 on the line, 2, 3. Okay. Just check them. So what note is this here? What's the last note?
G.
It's a G. Is this also a G on the treble clef?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're good, aren't we? This drawing thing's just got right in the way of it. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we'll pretend like we've done all that. What else needs to go in there, guys? What else do we need to put in there?
The ties.
The ties, anything else? What about these markings here? What are they? Do we know what they are?
Are they dynamic?
Fast and slow.
Yeah, dynamic. So the first one is called a crescendo.
And then the second one.
It gradually gets louder, as you can see by the picture. It's obvious, isn't it? And then the second one then is called a decrescendo or a diminuendo. And what does that one mean?
To get quieter.
Gets quieter, yeah. So they are, but everything that's there, I mean, obviously I would do that much better, wouldn't I? In reality, but I can't at the moment. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just put the last couple of bars in. I'll get somebody to do that. So just the Johnny, do you want to put the last bar in for us, where it would go?
What one am I doing?
The last bar.
Just the
Actually, you can put the last two in. Put the last two bars in for me, please. So you can put the bar line in as well. So what
these two.
Yes. So what you got to do is check, haven't you, the last note? What note is that?
Is A.
It's an A. And it's the A. Where does it sit in relation to middle C?
Two below.
Yeah, so it's actually below, isn't it? It's on a lecture line below the stage. So it's on two lines below the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Oh, I don't know why I'm doing this.
All right, don't worry. I know it's tricky. Okay, I'll just ask the questions. Okay, so let me see then. Chloe, in the second to last, well done, Johnny. I know that's an effort, but that would be the right one. And then obviously you'd put the dot in. You'd also put the stem in, etc., etc. It's got to be an exact copy. Other side. Yeah, that's it. So the stem goes the other side, doesn't it, if it's facing up?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's all right. That's just a little grammatical thing. Okay, so Chloe, do you want to do the second to last bar? So just tell me what the notes are there, please. In the original clef and the tenor clef, what notes have we got?
Is it a C and a D?
It's a C and a B, brilliant. And where would they sit on the new clef?
Well, C will be below the first line. So like the middle C where it usually sits on the treble clef.
So it'd have the ledger line through it, wouldn't it? Because it's middle C. Yeah, good.
And then C will be below that ledger line where the C sits.
Okay, so that's really good. Anybody got any questions at this point? No? Okay, so let's have a little look at the next one then. Next one's a little bit trickier. So, okay, so what's the first thing we put in, guys? What do we need to look at? The key signature. This time we're in bass clef. So where would we start on the key signature then, Shemak? Where would the first flat go in on the bass clef, please? We got 3 flats. Just put a dot in.
I have no idea.
Okay, so does anybody else have any idea?
Is it the second line?
The second line of well done, Chloe. Yeah, so I'm just going to put some dots in because obviously it's an absolute pain. So the first one would go there. That would be our first flat. And then the next flat would be where then, Shemak? Where's the next one? So the next one's an E flat. Where does it go?
Between 4 and 3 line.
Yeah, brilliant. So it's in there, isn't it? In the space. It's not letting me. Great. But it would be in there. Technology. Oh yeah, it's let me. And then the final one then, what have we got there? We've got an A flat. So Johnny, where would that one go?
Bottom.
Bottom space, yeah.
Bottom space, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we'd have that. And then what's the next thing we need to go in?
I have common time.
What, sorry, Chloe?
The half common time.
Yeah, cut
Like
common
time
time.
signature.
So it's far too thick, isn't it? That's okay. Okay, and then the next thing we do, well, the first thing's dead easy, isn't it? We've got a rest, so that just is as it is. Pitch of rest, don't change. So that's all good. The next one then is what's that note there? What have we got?
E.
Yeah, well done, Chloe. In relation to middle C, where is it? Is it below or above middle C?
Is that below?
It's below. Middle C is the line here, isn't it? So what we're looking for then is the E below middle C. So where does that live then on the bass clef? On the bass clef, middle C is up here, isn't it? On the line. So where's the E?
Is the E on the fourth, the third?
Remember, it's all cows that eat grass in the spaces.
Between 3 and 4 line.
Yeah, so it's here. Yeah, so that would be our first note. Stems go down because we're above the middle line, although that looks ridiculous now, but never mind. And then the next note then is just a third up, isn't it? So it'd be there. And then we put our bar line in. Okay, Matthew, I haven't asked you much today. What's the next note then? What's this note here?
B.
What is it, sorry?
B.
B, well done. It's the B. Where does it sit in relation to middle C? Is it below middle C or is it above middle C?
Below.
It's the one below middle C, isn't it? So where will it sit on the bass clef? If this is middle C, yeah, well done. Just put that in, brilliant, okay. And the next four, you don't need to put the line above it, Matthew. You can just have it sitting there, which is good. So the next four are just the same, aren't they? And then the next one is a middle C, etc., etc. Next one's just below that. Yeah, and we just put everything in exactly how it is, but on the right pitch. So again, if you had a bass player or somebody who used the tenor clef, they will play exactly the same. Okay, final one then. We've got an shut up, we've got a cat meowing at me. So the final one then, what have we got in there? What's the first thing we put in?
Flat.
Yeah, key signature, what key are we in? 2 flats.
B.
B flat, well done, Shema. Yeah, so we need to put those in. Okay, in the treble clef then, where does the first one go? Where does the B go?
Middle line.
Middle line, well done. And then the E obviously goes above that. There. Next thing we put in as well?
Time signature.
Time signature, which in this case is 3, which is 2 big blobs. Never mind, 3/8. Then the next thing we have to put in, what else is in there this time, guys?
The adagio.
Adagio, meaning slow. PP, what does that mean?
Is that
Quiet.
soft?
Softly, yeah, and then crescendo to loud. And then we've got some crescendos and diminuendos and things in there. They all have to go in. Yeah, everything has to be in there. And then this time we're going from tenor clef to treble clef. Okay, so what's that first note there? What have we got there?
F.
It's an F. Brilliant, Chloe's on fire today. It's an F. And does it sit above or below middle C?
Above.
Above, well done. And where will that F be then in relation to the treble clef if it's above middle C?
Bottom space.
Bottom space, well done. So it'll be in there. We've got an upbeat there before the melody actually starts. Can anyone remember what that's called? We discussed that the other week.
No.
It's an no, discussed it in the first lesson. It's an anacrusis. A-N-A-C-R-U-S. I-S, and it's when there's an upbeat before the melody actually starts. So the bar doesn't add up, basically. It's when the first bar doesn't add up. Okay, what's the next note then?
F.
Still an F.
Again.
So we just tie that across, make sure we got the ties in. Okay, I'm not going to bother with all the stems and everything because it's well done, Blue. Thank you, Blue. Okay, so the next note then, what have we got there? What note's that?
B.
It's a B. Well done, Shema. It sits below middle C. Yeah, so it'll be this one. And then this one is a bit tricky, isn't it? So what note's that? Who can tell me what that is?
Is that a B?
B.
Is it a B? Hang on.
Yes.
Yes, it's a B. So where does it go? Above middle C.
Above.
So there. And then obviously we tie these all nicely and put our crescendos and diminuendos and things in. Okay, are we all clear on that exercise?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it hard or is it easy?
It's a challenge.
One thing now, yeah.
I think the main thing is just to remember to put everything in there. I think if you do that and you figure out where middle C is, it will be fine. Okay, so let's have a look then, folks, what time we want. Like, so next week, we are going to be looking at, okay, we've actually done quite a bit here. So next week, we're going to be doing something a little bit the other way around, which is putting the treble and bass clef things into tenor clef. Same principle, we're just doing them the other way. So instead of going from tenor clef to treble, we'll be going from treble to tenor and so on. I don't think that will take a lot of time. And then what we have to do is start writing things out enharmonically. So what's enharmonically? Do we know? So if I say F sharp, G flat, that's just an enharmonic. An enharmonic equivalent, so it just means the same note with a different name. So what it's going to do is give us a passage of music and say E flat and ask us to write it in F sharp. So same thing, different key signature. Okay, shall we leave it there for today? Is your head hurting?
A little bit.
A little bit. I'll stop recording now. When Jack sees this, happy birthday to, is it Charlotte? I think it's Charlotte, isn't it, this little girl? So happy birthday to Charlotte. I'll stop recording.